and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his third season, Jalen Hurts.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
This defense for the Commanders is very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout.
And right away, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, the offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense.
They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Take it at the 37. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Washington. 63 yards on a punt return score.
And the Commanders will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon.
They get the stop defensively, force the punt, and they score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense. Like, look, don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive.
Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. There's Jamin Davis, the former Kentucky Wildcat, bringing the pressure that time. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, all right, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His 3rd NFL team, Carson Wentz.
And what a start to the season he's had. 10 touchdowns through the first 2 weeks. Now, we won't start playing the game of what kind of pace is he on because it is a long year. But at the very least, he's got to be the front runner for NFL Offensive Player of the Month for September.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Straight ahead, Gibson. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago.
The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
They'll go again with Gibson.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Antonio Gibson, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining.
Sly on for the extra point.
And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And, oh, that's one he's going to want back. A poor kick. It heads straight out of bounds.
Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time. And going to
Menu narration option is set to off.
Better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Let's go now.
Throwing is Hurts. That would almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the first quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the second one.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. And that'll be incomplete.
Lots of incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Hurts. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. And taken at the 46.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Touchdown, Washington!
Well, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the route is on here in this first half. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start by running the option to the right. Hurts fumbles it, and it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
So here is Washington now to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. A give running right, Gibson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Commanders have got it on cruise control. Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter, they're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this league could become.
Slide for the PAT. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The numbers for Sanders last week, 17 carries, 86 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
You know, a week ago was one of the best defensive performances I've ever seen. He had 5 sacks. Here we go again.
He's the type of player that will keep an offensive staff up all week trying to figure out how to slow him down. But at some point, they just have to take account of themselves and say, I've got to get bodies in front of him so he doesn't disrupt our offense totally.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, you got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Some good games coming up here in Week 3, the first weekend of fall officially. And tonight, the Niners and Broncos from Denver. 49er fans are probably saying, wait, I thought we were done with Russell Wilson. No, they'll see him tonight. And then on Monday night, Cowboys and Giants from MetLife Stadium kicking off at 8:15 Eastern. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he's got room. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 126 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On 1st down, right back to Gibson. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tartt.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
A run here for J.D. McKissick.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Now Wentz on 3rd down.
And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted.
Picked off on a safety, Jarquiski Tartt.
And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling with this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Commanders continue to pull away here in this first half.
And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And a rout is on here in this first half. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Things, unfortunately, continuing to implode here. The interception he threw on the previous drive, of course, led to the touchdown. And that deficit widening a little bit further. 1st and 10. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line.
They'll start with a handoff to Sanders.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 27, Hurts out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up 3rd and 1.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do? You got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
And he's He's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
Washington going to go on offense now late in this first half. Just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board.
He's got a man, complete.
And he'll be taken out of bounds all the way down near the 35-yard line.
A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They fake the give. Now Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Eagles will take over here just shy of the 30. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
On first down, Hurts.
Open man has got it, the tight end. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
8 yards to go on second down.
They'll look to throw again. This is caught. It's Brown.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 33.
That one goes for 24 yards. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play.
A final shot before half for Wentz. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that is incomplete.
So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top
as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll kick things off in Charlotte, an NFC South matchup pitting New Orleans against Carolina. This one's at the half with a score of 17-7. Deontay Hardy, a touchdown catch in that first half. From there, it's off to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And that game has gone to halftime with the visiting Texans out on top. Kareem Hunt with a touchdown run. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for Washington, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
The Commanders up first on offense as we begin this third quarter. Wentz bringing the Commanders up for 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Now a play fake. Wentz slings this deep for McLaurin. And he's got it inside the 10.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Commanders. I tell you, when Carson Wentz can really step into one and get that 6'5" frame behind it, he can really launch it.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air according to next-gen stats. Wow. Now Joey Sly for the point after.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line.
They start on the ground here at Sanders.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't ready up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards again up on the board.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man. It's the tight end, Goddard. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's complete to Sanders. And the ball is knocked out. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Back to throw again. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up fourth down. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive. Not a bad day at the office there. Maybe he would like the catch number to go up a little bit, but I think most guys would say 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. That's okay.
I think if the catch number goes up, we start talking about the record books because at that pace, this type of efficiency, oh, yeah, I think I'd throw it to him a little bit more often.
Here's Gibson to start the drive.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Wentz.
Got this complete to Jahan Dotson.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
The CD, as we look at this draft class, this offense received quite a bit of help this past April. It's a group very focused on this side of the ball, particularly when you look at those early picks.
Yeah, when you look at the top of the board, it's pretty clear they wanted an immediate impact player for their offense in the first round, and they got him. Beyond that, I like how they kept adding to that unit in the rounds that followed. Those other picks, they may not all be the same type of day-one difference makers, but coach them up, and they could make a difference down the road.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He's got him in, complete. Touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz.
And the Commanders have widened the gap now to 50 points.
So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. this one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized. I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 2nd and 12, Hurts.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground.
They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game.
And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
A give up the middle to Gibson. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. They'll run with Gibson, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Commanders get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind-melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Sly on for the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Eagles offense back out getting set for this next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
He is racking the sacks up. Charles, 5 last week, now 2 here.
I don't care what they've done in scheme. It's not working. I mean, you can do it all day long, all night long. They did it all week.
Under pressure, they got him again. Jonathan Allen picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out with this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
So the 14 yards actually takes them from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wentz. This is caught inside the 15. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Now Wentz on the bootleg.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington.
Carson Wentz with touchdown pass number 4 on the afternoon.
And the Commanders are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad is on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Throwing is Hurts.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
And his throw here's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play. One that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and
Hurts fumbles it.
Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room. That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know when a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
On play action, Wentz slings this deep from McLaurin. And got his man complete. Past the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Hurts fumbles it. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score.
So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Slide for the PAT.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
To try again after the sack. Hurts under pressure, and they got to him again. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
Hurts.
This is Smith with a grab. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of the first as that leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Here's Hurts to throw.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sanders. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Hurts.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Now Joey Slye for the point after.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved. He's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Washington,
it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys.